Last week I posted a video about Nigel Farage potentially wanting to lower the minimum wage for young people, an idea already built on the grotesque assumption that if you're under 18, your labour, your life and your time are worth less. But the real shock wasn't Farage saying that, it was the comments. The number of people, grown adults, arguing that teenagers should be paid about £3.50 an hour, proudly, confidently, even self-righteously, was staggering. And it hit me like a brick. There is a huge portion of the British population that has no respect, no empathy, and absolutely no desire for younger people to succeed. Their only guiding philosophy is, I had it hard, so they should too. This country has gone from help the next generation to make sure they suffer like I did, as if hardship is some kind of inheritance to be passed down. So let's ask the question clearly. Why is minimum wage lower for younger people? The official excuse is that it incentivizes employers to hire young people, but is that actually true? Does anyone genuinely believe that a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old stacking shelves is some enormous risk to employers? When I worked in a restaurant, everyone was paid the same regardless of age, and the company still hired loads of 16 to 18-year-olds, not because they were cheap labour, but because they are perfectly capable of doing the same job. If the only advantage of hiring a young person is you get to pay them less, that's not an advantage, that is exploitation dressed up as an economic theory. Small businesses might argue that they can't afford it, and that's fine. Let's talk about subsidies, grants, training support, etc. But the vast majority of minimum wage workplaces aren't tiny family-run shops. They're supermarkets and they're chains and franchises, hospitality giants, care work providers, companies that absolutely can afford to pay fairly but choose not to. And all of this nonsense about taking a risk in hiring a teenager for minimum wage work, if a job truly requires so much training and expertise that hiring someone young is a huge gamble, then it shouldn't be minimum wage in the first place. The cold reality is this. Being young isn't a discount. Age doesn't change the rent, age doesn't change the cost of food, age doesn't magically make clothes cheaper, transport cheaper, prescriptions cheaper, or energy bills cheaper. Living costs do not care how old you are, so why do wages? Minimum wage should be a livable wage, full stop. If you are working full-time, whether you are a 17-year-old in retail or a 30-year-old in a care home, you should be earning enough to survive. And this is where this country shows its ugliest side. We will happily let carers, the people who are responsible for the physical and emotional well-being of actual human beings, earn some of the lowest wages in the country. We treat them like they're interchangeable, we treat young people like they're disposable, and we treat work like it's charity and wages like they're favours. Young people are absolutely not the problem. They are not lazy, they are not entitled, they are not a burden, they are simply the easiest target in a country obsessed with nostalgia for struggle. A country where people wear their own suffering like it's a badge of honour and demand that everyone younger earn it too. A country where the older generation seems to insist that the ladder be pulled up as soon as they've climbed it. Britain does not need lower wages for young people. It needs a reality check, it needs empathy, and it needs to stop defining fairness as equal misery for everyone.